everyone, welcome to Past Preserver. We just got sent this PTC space heater. It's got 4 speeds, it'll swing around. It has a humidifier, which is kind of neat. It's an induction heater. We'll go ahead and get this thing open. On low setting, it's 900 watts, and high, it's 1500. They did send me this to do a review on. So, there will be a link below if you decide you're interested in it. This is my first time getting it out of the box, obviously. We have instructions. I'll glance through those. Somewhat satisfying. Let's have a look at the controls on this unit. We have a power button. We'll go ahead and push that. It's currently 66 degrees in this room. Not too bad. Now we can go through the mode button, and that'll put us into high mode, low mode. This mode just acts like it's blowing air. It almost acts like a fan. It's just recirculating. There's no heat behind it. Then we hit it again, and it'll go back into eco mode. Eco mode is where you can actually control where you want the temperature to shut off at. So what'd that say it was? 67 degrees. We'll go ahead and pop this thing up to 70. Because I think it'll get this room up to 70, no problem. Okay? And then there's one other little feature in this mode setting. If you hold this for 3 seconds, it'll activate this little motion sensor light. And there's a motion sensor down here. So if you come up on this and you had it powered off, it will turn on and when it sees you, and it'll start warming up the room, which I think is a really cool idea. So according to the manual, it has like a runtime of 3 minutes or so, which is pretty cool. Now we can move on to the next mode, which is a timer. Pressing the timer button again and again, you can go 1 hour, 2 hours, and we'll see how far it'll let us go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A 12-hour timer, so you can have the thing run for 12 hours straight, and then it'll shut off. So great if you're going to bed and you just want warm enough to go to bed too, and then it'll shut off. There is a swing mode, which is not something I've seen on a lot of these personal space heaters, which is pretty cool. That way you can blow it back and forth like a fan does, an oscillating fan. And as you can see, it has a pretty decent range of motion, and it's actually quite quiet. The last button is for the humidifier. We'll go over how to fill that. So the first thing you want to do before you fill this is shut it off, and it will have a countdown timer. So I'll see you in 30 seconds. Before you start doing any of this, I highly recommend unplugging it because you are messing with water and electricity. Come to the back here, and you can pick up on this tab and watch your little plastic thing, and it will flip off. Coming to the top here, you'll see we have a little light. That'll come into play in a minute. But what you want to do is fill the water up to this little line here. You'll see there's a height right next to it. You don't want to go up to this top bit. You want to go where it says height, and there's like a cutout in the plastic. So we're going to take some, you'd really want to use distilled water in this. I'm just going to use some bottled water. We'll fill it on up. That ought to do it. Now to put this lid back in, you kind of start it towards the front like that and push down on the rear. And it'll just seat into place. So included in that bag was your manual, your remote, and this little plastic thing that looks like flames. It just goes in the top here. You have a long side and a little side, and it just kind of clips in. It's a little tight, but you can do it. Just like that. Now this time we should be able to run the humidifier. We'll go ahead and turn it on. And we'll press the humidifier button. You'll see a little dot showed up, and I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but it instantly started humidifying the water. Look at the vapor coming out of there. And it looks like a flame. I'll see if I can get some dark shots for you. It's pretty neat. Yeah, that's a pretty cool effect. Going over the remote, it has all the options except the induction one, which is actually just your sensor. I don't know why they call it induction. I would think like induction oven when I see that. It's just for the little sensor on the bottom. So that's another way to turn that on and off. Otherwise, you have to hold the mode button for 3 seconds on the unit. I don't know what happens if you hold the mode for 3 seconds on the remote, though. Apparently nothing. Okay, so that didn't work. So it will not turn on that way. You have to push the induction button on and off. Good to know. You got the humidifier button. That will turn that on and off. You got your oscillator button. Now start and stop that. You have your timer. And you have your up and down on the temperature and your power button. Reminder, this thing takes 30 seconds to shut off. So just let it run, it'll cool itself down. Okay, so right now we're at 69 degrees. Let's see if we can get this thing up to... Oh, wow, we'll make 73 in here. I'm going to try and get some readings in the room. Around that corner, 62.2. Okay, that corner, 61.2. 64 back in that corner. That's getting closer to the rest of the house, though. 64, 66 over there, while the furnace is on the other side of that wall, even though it hasn't been on, but... we'll keep an eye on that corner. One thing I forgot to mention, this does have tip over protection, so if your cat or your dog or something comes along and knocks it over, it will shut itself off and hopefully not burn your house down. So that's a good thing too. So while we're here, take a look at this. We're putting off around 190, 140, 130, yeah, 157. Definitely getting pretty warm. Wonder how hot the humidifier gets. 70. I guess it doesn't take a whole lot to humidify the water. Just turn it into a mist. We'll open that up later and see how hot that water gets, because you know it's got to be heating up some too. Well, I didn't even have to. That came up pretty quick. Let's go ahead and try and make it 80 in here. Let's be really dumb with it, because that's way too hot. Well, it just got ready to shut off. It hasn't even been 10 minutes. It's been like 5. Actually, it feels pretty nice in here, to be honest. I mean, this isn't a huge room, but for a personal space heater, yeah. This thing really works good. It's just getting ready to shut off. We hit the 78. Yeah, by the time it gets up to 80. Should be, I was thinking about it. But dang, yeah, about 5-6 minutes. That's not too bad at all. Let's have a look around the room and see what it did, because heat always rises. And it'll start up there first. 66. Yeah, we were at like, what, 62, 67, 68. So that's not bad over there. 65, that's a little further away. And then over there is probably going to be on the hotter side. 68, 68, 69. Yeah, heat definitely rises. Let's look at the floor. 63 on the floor. So, yeah. 79. She's getting closer to shutting off. So, basically, yeah, this thing seems to work pretty good. Really think it's a good unit. Not bad for if you're in an office space and just need to keep a little humidity around you and keep yourself warm. It definitely puts a lot of heat out for what it is. I recommend it. Time will tell how long it'll last, you know. We'll keep it around, and I'll probably be using it in this room now, honestly, because it does get a little cooler in here than the rest of the rooms. So. The price is around $40 to $50 on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. Go ahead and leave a like, hit subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. I have companies starting to want to send me stuff to do reviews on, and it's all because of you guys actually watching it, so thank you much. I got Vivor knocking down my door. They're like, we want you to do our stuff, but you got to have 10,000 subscribers. And I'm like, well, that doesn't help me any. It's like, gee, thanks, but it's been a long time to get to that one. I'm just ecstatic. We're close to 5,000. We're halfway there. We just hit 4,500 the other day. So I want to thank you all for watching. That is awesome. I never thought we'd get that big. And yeah, we're going to leave it here. I will do an update if I ever have an issue with it, but if not, just assume it's working great.